Kurtzman also created Mad Magazine, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with, and really specialized in kind of like undercutting the classics and undercutting cartoons, and sometimes doing them all at the same time. So a lot of the inspiration for what I do even goes back to Mad.
Great, thank you so much. Anybody else?
Mr. Blechman, I wanted to ask you, what artists influenced you when you were first starting? Did you hit on your style immediately, or did it take some development, and what artists were involved?
It took a lot of development, and I still can't shake certain people. I hated this cover at first, because what does this remind you of? It's Steinberg. And it was something that was adapted from my stuff by the first designer. And every now and then I just do a Steinberg. And now, of course, he's entered everybody's vocabulary in the graphic arts, and it's hard to escape him. So I've kind of somewhat given up. Who? I really don't know. It probably, Thurber, a guy called Willem van Loon. I can't think of his first name. Something Willem van Loon. Wonderful, wonderful artist who did popularizing of history books in the 30s, early 40s. But you try all sorts of things, and one thing seems to be right, and you just pursue that. Because even when it comes to a drawing instrument, I used to play around with a pencil, then a pen, then a fat pen, and a thin pen. I guess it's both natural and artificial. It's neither process holds true for anybody's development, I think. I think that what happens is that you see a direction that is very congenial, and so you follow through with it and you develop it. Hope I answered the question. It's curious. I did a metamorphosis also. Isn't that funny? Kafka's The Rage. That's a book. Who wrote Kafka's The Rage? Broyard. Yeah, it's still The Rage.
How come that's not in the book?
It's in the book.
Oh, that's right. Kafka is metamorphosed, so it's a takeoff of it. It's a takeoff of the story, but it's not the story. It's Kafka being the character who's changed. Yes, I'm sorry. I actually read his book. I forgot. There's a lot of great stories in it. I forgot that one. How embarrassing. Well, what another great connection. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Any other questions?
Kafka makes them mute.
Yes, apparently. Oh, great. Sorry, who was it?
This is for Bob in the dark shirt. Is there a rhyme or reason why you chose certain characters for certain things? Why Dagwood for Adam, for instance, or Charlie Brown for, you're a good roach, Charlie Brown?
The way that I come up with the combinations of the characters is maybe the most mysterious part of the process for me. I have a book called The Reader's Encyclopedia, which has plot lines of classic novels, and I have my enormous stack of comic book collections and comic books and comic strips, and I just think about stories I might want to do and characters I might want to use, and sometimes when I put the two characters, or put the characters together with the source novel, something exciting happens, and I can't really explain it. It seems to me that that's the eureka moment, and the rest of it is just making the drawing look good or making the writing look good. But when I did the Blondie and Dagwood as Adam and Eve, it just seemed like there were enough parallels in the relationships of the characters to each other, and when I realized that Adam could be walking away from the tree with apples on his hands the way Dagwood carries sandwich makings from his refrigerator to his kitchen table, I thought, well, that panel alone almost makes the story worth doing. So when you have like visual metaphors, or you create visual metaphors like that, then it makes it exciting and makes it worth the months it takes to actually make them look exactly like the strips.
We have another question.
What made you want to write a comic?
It's you.
That's me?
That too.
I have been reading comics my whole life, and my brothers also made comics. I think what I really like about making comics is that you can get to control everything. You know, I can use these famous characters, and I can use these famous stories, and I can make a whole production, and it doesn't take, $10 million, and I don't have to cast, Sean Penn, or not to pick on Sean Penn. I'd love to cast Sean Penn, but he's not available. So, you work with what you have, and sometimes paper and pens is enough to create something really exciting. That's why.
This is for Rob Sikoryak. Rob, I was just wondering if there were any adaptations that you were doing that you kind of gave up on because you just couldn't match the cartoonist style?
I've been pretty stubborn about it. Once I start them, I tend to finish them, but some of them take a long time. Like I did a version of Wuthering Heights in the style of an old EC horror comic, and that was really grueling, but I got through it. Once I get to a certain point, there's kind of no turning back. I think some are more successful than others visually, but I haven't abandoned any of them. I haven't gotten to some yet because I'm terrified of doing them, but once I start them, I generally finish them.
All right. At this time, please line up to my
buy books.
left and through the photography aisle to have your books signed, and you can pick them up here. And then please go downstairs and you can pay for your books at the checkout. Thank you so much.